I've got 8 ping more than him.
Okay, let's go. Well, there it is. Welcome to best of 7 between Cash and Grubby. This is Orc Mirror, and this is a bit of a bonus for you. So, currently streaming this over twitch.tv/WTii, but this will most likely go into YouTube as well, because expect this to be quite epic indeed. We have our sound set. Let's whack the effects up just a little bit more. So, because this will be going up in a FOD form, I'll try to put timestamps in between all of the games. Or at least the first few, because some people might see those timestamps as a spoiler. I can always put them underneath, like, the video description. So in the video description, then a little bit further. That way, you don't necessarily see them straight off the bat. So, that way you can just skip to the next part, because there will be a little bit of downtime in between the games. Now, my biggest concern here is as long as I don't cause too much lag for the players, that'll all be good. So, let's enjoy it, shall we? Let's get cracking. I was actually just looking up in this catalogue here. There's some pizzas at Aldi that are selling for £3.29, so it's actually £1.29 higher than I would normally spend on a pizza. But I think we can go over that a bit later. I'm not even joking, look. Pizza. I've just come off eating the pizza. I've just had to get so much done. My internet was giving me trouble. I was dropping frames. But I was even holding up Grubby and his stream of all of these viewers and watchers. So I apologise for that. But I am, as far as I know, okay to now get on with the show. So, here we go. Looks like an interesting opening here. Do I not have sound? It's like sound is bugged or something. Yeah, I might have to do a restart after this. Wouldn't surprise me. I'm not hearing things quite as clearly as I should do. But anyway, both Blade Masters are going to be out on the field, except the one difference is Cash, as we can see, starts off with a grunt. Grubby does not. So let's see how this one fares, because that's an interesting way to look at it. It's an Orc Mirror, except both players have gone with a different opening. The Great Hall, Grubby's still got his tech going now. So that's very good. Let's see what item he gets. Oh, it's Claws of Attack. Nice. Cash has finished his with a Ring of Protection. Not so nice. And it took the same amount of time, because a Grunt doesn't really have the highest DPS. It's just there to help tank, but... Oh, Grubby looking for an item. He actually goes to the marketplace to pick up a Gloves of Haste, because if you kill a creature on the map, an item becomes available within that pool. So the pool, item pool, is a level 1 permanent item, I believe. And that can consist of Claws of Attack +6 or Gloves of Haste. He's actually being sneaky here, and he's going to pick off the Troll Trapper just before Cash comes in there with the Wind Walk. So Cash gets a bit of revenge, tapping Grubby, but Grubby's still got 2 healing salves. Looks like Cash has gone for, oh, okay, a couple of healing salve totals. And Grubby's actually just whacking a few hits here, because that's just to do a little bit of damage and to get the 400 health that he will do over time. He's even got clarity ticking. Cash looking at the shop, unable to buy anything because that would have been purchased by Grubby with the Gloves of Haste. Grubby's tech is now 75% of the way through. He's got a barracks finished, going with the grunts. Cash, more grunts, 23 food with a burrow coming up there. So Cash looking like he's going to be on the aggression, but Grubby's got this burrow in a great place. 2 burrows, basically able to hit whatever they need to aggressively. He's quite good with his building placement, Grubby. If you've ever seen him, twitch.tv/follow Grubby. Very good, just to learn Warcraft 3 in general, as well as obviously Orc, because he's an expert at it. But so is Cash, so this is going to be pretty tough. Grubby waiting and picks up the item. No, he doesn't actually. Cash was super fast picking up that item, considering that Grubby actually got the experience. So you can see the experience bar here, much more favourable. But the 200 gold item, because it sells for 200 gold, Scroll of Beast goes to Cash. That was well quick. Normally, the player that gets the Creep Jack can sort of right-click twice. Like, they right-click to finish off the mob, and then immediately afterwards, because they know exactly when it's going to die. So Cash was very fast to pick that up. He's actually coming over here, and he's going to start on Grubby's territory. So another piece of advice, if you're ever fighting in 1 versus 1, and some of you might be interested in starting it up since Reforged is basically being announced, and many people want to learn the game again, you probably want to take the creeps that belong to your opponent. You just need a little bit of game sense, and that will come with experience. You'll work out roughly when and how long you can stay in your opponent's territory. Cash feels confident right now, and he gets to take the creep camp from Grubby, because Cash still has his creep camp over here. Grubby's actually going for the middle spot here, which is quite easy for Orc players to do. Grunts have extra damage here versus the Forest Troll Berserkers, so they basically melt completely. Not to mention Blade Master DPS with that claws, gloves. Oh, Cash really reining in the greed here. He picks up another item, he gets the Talisman of Evasion, and he's just taking out Grubby's creep camps. So you've got these two mid spots that could go to either player. But this isn't particularly rewarding. It's quite easy to do. It does give you access to the shop if you want to buy boost of speed. I don't know if Grubby has worried about that. The meta these days seems to involve a lot of orcs actually skipping the boost of speed and favouring spending that gold on their tech rather than, or research upgrades, than actually the boost of speed. Even though the boost of speed could be argued as one of the best items in the game, a lot of them don't worry, because it is 250 gold, a flat payment you have to make there. That could be going towards other things. So Cash going with the Spirit Walker Raider Grunt. I imagine Grubby's doing the same, because that is the typical Orc meta. And you will need to do that even in a mirror match. You do that versus other players. Okay. Cash's Shadow Hunter in a lot of pressure here. Grubby's got a lot of mana. Speed Scroll to try to get away. Is there another Hex? Grubby follows in with the Speed Scroll and another Hex. This should be a shutdown of that Shadow Hunter. I can't imagine he'll get away. And then Cash is going to have to try to get some revenge on Grubby's Shadow Hunter. But he still has Speed Scroll available to him. After that other Speed Scroll, did he have 2 Speed Scrolls? That's crazy. Goes to show you how valuable that item is. And he gets a lovely block in here with the Spirit Walker. He's trying to escape and he manages to get away with it. Cash unable to get revenge for his fallen comrade, the Shadow Hunter. So Orc Mirror is so far Blade Master and Shadow Hunter for both players, involving Grunts, Raiders and Spirit Walkers for anyone that is interested. I imagine you are if you're watching this. You can see the build here, so if you find yourself in an Orc Mirror, those might be some good units to go, because these are two very, very good players, and they know better than the majority of us, so in their advice we will trust. Those items are great for Grubby so far. Nice head start there, and he's got good control. The only downside is he lost his creeps, but because he was victorious in that little skirmish, he now gets to take Cash's creeps for as long as he can, until Cash groups everything up. He's even bringing peons here because he's suspecting that Grubby's actually taking his own territory. And those peons, you actually use the ability Spirit Link from the Spirit Walkers, and that distributes damage between 4 units, including a hero. So you actually cast that with peons nearby, and that way you can see they're taking some of the hits here. So that stops your main units and heroes taking all the brunt of the damage. Grubby actually looking to escape, but an ensnare might cause some issues. He does have the ability to go ethereal, which means that he can no longer be hurt by physical attacks, only spell attacks, and Orc don't have many spell attacks. The only spell attacks currently available to Cash right now would be the Spirit Walker's attacks, being magic. So far, pretty exciting game, actually. I'm quite enjoying this one. Are these peons... They're actually going straight back to base, because they have actually got lumber. I was wondering if they were going to pop into the gold mine and just take an extra 40 gold on the way back. Grubby's now doing some split creeping, because Blade Master is level 3. These items are great so far. Cash is coming in, but unfortunately unable to find an answer. He's level 3 as well. So once your Blade Master hits level 3, you will go with level 2 Wind Walk and level 1 crit. And the level 2 Wind Walk is, I think, 40 seconds of invisibility, I think, which is a long time. So it gives you a lot of time to stalk your opponent and try to get the creep jack, pick off their units or pick off the last creep, get the items, yoink, away. So Cash at the moment in a bit of a rough spot, struggling to finish off this creep camp. I've got to say that the left-hand side on this map is still not fixed. They actually changed Echo Isles a little bit, so you've got trees here, and that's to benefit Night Elf. Lol, as if Night Elf need it. But a grunt actually being picked off there, so Grubby getting that, and he's also moving forward with this creep camp as well. But this creep camp often aggroes very easily when you're moving towards this. It doesn't happen on the east-hand side though, so unfortunately these maps still don't have pure symmetricality, or at least not balanced symmetricality. follow Grubby is currently being speed scrolling ahead to get into the battle. We've got a raider that's being picked off. A lot of focus on Cash's Spirit Walkers, but that's drawing Grubby out a lot of his potential DPS. Shadow Hunter reaffirming his position, hidden over here on the side. Down goes a Kodo for Grubby. So this is suddenly turned very quickly against Grubby. He's lost 2 raiders and a Kodo there, and there could potentially be a Spirit Walker as well. He needs to escape as best as he can. Ethereal form activated. And he's still unable to take off the Spirit Walker. There we go. Finally getting the Spirit Walker. So that definitely cost Grubby quite a lot. His own peons coming into the field. But it's a little bit too little too late. And now those peons are actually a bit of a blunder, because they are going to be somewhat picked off as Grubby tries to retreat. If he does turn around and fight this, I don't think it favors him enough. He might... Well, if he brings the fight closer to his territory, his units will be rallying faster. So I think that's what he's trying to do, is if he can fight in this area, he gets it closer to his own territory and has more control, closer to his own shop to pop back to get items. Blade Master in the front, good position, able to take some hits. He's even got Ring of Protection +2. Cash has got the evasion, the Circlet of Nobility, Claws of Attack +6. I think I would give Grubby the slight favour there on items, but it's actually pretty close, because that's a higher tier item. And that can actually be incredibly effective. 15% extra evasion is pretty nice, especially when you're in the front and you've got Spirit Link on you. Okay, Grubby's actually pushing forth again. Much bigger force this time. 48 food. Cash is 49 food. Let's have a look at the upgrades. 0-0 so far for both players. So up until this point, neither player has actually researched upgrade damage or defense. A lot of focus on Grubby. Oh, managing to get out there. Needs a heal himself. This is tricky because Cash is going to want to force the fight whilst Grubby's Blade Master is low. But Cash also has a really vulnerable Blade Master who actually doesn't have enough mana for another Windwalk. So if he goes in, gets himself into trouble. 2 raiders is not enough to lock down that hero though. You would need about 4 raiders to lock down a hero. Okay, another peon going down. Grubby looking for more items. Actually goes with the Potion of Greater Mana, which is incredibly good, but very expensive. It actually costs about 300 gold, so it's a bit of an all-in kind of item there. At the worst case scenario, it can be used to fall back on. It's certainly not a bad item, but it's a large pocket of money. Grubby starting to produce another burrow, looking at some point to go past 50 food, but for now his tech towards tier 3 is 75% of the way through. Cash actually staying at tier 2, 50 food, and has the attack damage being researched. So for Cash's army we have 2 grunts, 3 raiders, 3 spirit walkers and a Kodo alongside 3 peons. Blade Master at level 3. Purchasing the dust. I think this is the first time I've seen either hero or either player with an actual dust of appearance. Scroller healing as well. And Potion of Mana. So that's like the little brother to the other potions. You see this is 150 mana, costs 200 gold. This one costs 300 mana. This one's 300 mana. I don't even know. Actually, if that costs, I don't know if that costs 300 gold. It might cost more than 300 gold. I'm not 100%. It might cost 400 gold, because 300 mana for 300 gold is actually really good. It just doesn't do anything at the moment. You know why he's bought that item though? Because he's got a Pendant of Energy. One of Grubby's favourite tricks is to drop an item that enhances your total mana pool, and then take a potion of mana and then pick the item back up, therefore getting much more value. Oh, Grubby losing his shop. Cash asserting some dominance in Grubby's territory. Looking for blood by the looks of it. Manages to catch a Blade Master just on the outskirts. And there's another incident, but Grubby's in the territory. Oh, the surround. Grubby actually doesn't have a Windwalk available. This is unfortunate. And his Blade Master is going to go down. This is really unfortunate. Cash really cashing in there on that fortunate opportunity. Down goes Grubby's Spirit Walker. That's going to completely throw Grubby off. A horrible situation to find yourself in right now. No Blade Master. He absolutely needs to bring that Blade Master back. He's getting it from his altar. He has nothing nearby the middle, so there's no opportunity to pick it up from the tavern anytime soon. Most of the Orc units are far too slow. Kodo being picked off now. Cash is really getting in on this one. I was going to say cashing in, but that felt too obvious and forced. Now, Cash with the Blade Master, no more mana, but a lot of pressure. Spirit Link is making him very difficult to be picked off. It's so unlucky for Grubby there, losing that Blade Master. If he had just a bit more mana, just on the outskirt. This has cost him so dearly. Is there even time? He gets the Disenchant, manages to heal himself and keep himself alive. He's used the Potion of Greater Healing, a greater mana. Wasn't even able to drop the Pendant under so much pressure. And is just trying to keep himself as close to the side as possible to mitigate all potential damage coming his way. He can get a few more heals, but this is really looking good for Cash. And Grubby has to throw the GG down. That Blade Master pick-off, core, blimey, goes to show how quick it can just drop everything. That was so... that dust won the game. I don't know whether he knew the Blade Master was there. He just took a guess to use the dust. Whether he heard the wind walk. I didn't catch that. But he did get the dust off, and that gave him the Blade Master, which basically gave him the win. Oh, thank you, Cyrus. I'm going to just check Grubby's stream again, so I can... let's have a look. I'm going to bounce back and forth between his channel just to see if he makes the game again. But I have to have his stream off, because not only... It actually lags me a fair bit to have someone else's stream up, so I couldn't be one of these stream snipers.
Crossing off Isles.
So that goes 1-7 so far. Pendant was bought from the shop too, was it, Sir Jack? Okay, thank you very much for that. I didn't pick up on that. You have paused all alerts so they don't interfere.
He didn't have a bigger army.
Subscriptions are fine,
supposed to be able to lose that
but
way.
not the...
It's because it didn't have info.
Not the follows. That might be a bit much.
He's
going with Grubby.
Did need that Shadow 3 though.
Oh, Grub. No.
When he left the marketplace, I knew he can't go for the shop.
Okay. What would be interesting is if you... I'll probably put a link to Grubby's and Cash's VOD as well.
Which is pretty greedy and says a lot
from
about
the point of when they're playing this. I'm actually not sure of what Cash's stream is. Right, he's starting the game again, so I'm just going to come out of his stream and I'm going to go back into it. Oh wow, look at that. It just goes straight in, very fast. Grubby, up at the top here on the map, Turtle Rock versus Cash on the east-hand side. So, this is interesting already, because there's one focal point here that both players will want to fight over, and that is the Blue Ogre Magi. Level 5, but very easy to kill, even easier for a Blade Master. And this guy, he drops a ward that is invulnerable and lasts forever. So whoever gets this ward will have about that much vision. If the ogre dies here, they will have about that much vision, which is really important, because if you want to avoid that ward, you have to go all the way up here or around or through the middle. There are options to avoid it, but it is painful. Isn't it invisible, not invulnerable? It's both. You can't kill it. It's invisible, it's invulnerable, it lasts forever. It's kind of good. Kind of good. Alright, Grubby opening up with a Blade Master. I was wondering if he was actually going to be a little bit thrown by the last game, but he shouldn't really be, because it was a minor mistake that cost him that, and that was the Blade Master being caught. Everything he did up until that point was fine. He played well with the Blade Master, so it shouldn't mean that he should change to another hero to mix things up or try a different strategy. Not yet, anyway. He is quite confident with Farseer. I don't know too much about Cash, other than this dude is, like, incredibly good. He actually has a Night Elf account with 50 wins and 2 losses. He's probably got more wins since the last time I checked it. And he doesn't even play Night Elf properly. He's an Orc main, which is why you're watching him play Orc. So you're dealing with someone that is incredibly good. It still feels like the sound might not be right, but I think that's because I'm observing. I'm so used to hearing the Blade Master's sounds. Like, whoa, yes, what you want? Like when you're grabbing units and you're creeping yourself. Because I don't often observe or spectate or shoutcast games. So it's a bit of a treat for you guys, I guess. Or a torture, depending on which your way to look at it is. Okay, cash going in here for the Ogre. One of these drops a very nice potential item, and it's pretty easy to pick up. He actually gets the dust and the circlet from the shop. Both scouting each other with the grunts. So Grubby healing up now after picking off the Ogre. Gets the Cloak of Shadows, but cash... Oh, Ring of Protection again. Not exactly what he's after. Is Grubby going to go for the pick off here? Windwalk is still going. He doesn't know whether to reveal himself or not, or maybe wait and go for the Ogre Magi as well, because Cash might go... He's got to go back and heal. And Grubby might try to... Oh, no, he doesn't actually. He run out. It's a huge risk to go for that Ogre Magi, because it's even harder now than it's ever been. Cash is even checking for this right now with the grunt. That's what he's looking for, to see if the Ogre is actually in combat. Oh, this is not looking good, because Cash is going to be able to easily get the last hit in here. Grubby's actually trapped. He can only use... Oh! Utilize... Oh! He utilized the cloak, but the dust... Grubby is going to have to windwalk here, and he lose... Oh, no! Speed scroll coming in! Cash is actually going for the Blade Master. Could Grubby's Blade Master fall once again? Oh, wow, that's so rough. Now, that puts Cash in a really good position, because he gets a decent chunk of experience very early on for that. Picks off the item. Another Ring of Protection +2. And follow Grubby. All he can do right now is just harass a little bit with the grunt. This is looking rough. Grubby up with the tech on... how far is he through? Gone past 50%. They're both actually identical. Look at this. If I swap between the two. It's like you couldn't tell. Check that. And then that. Right now, this is going to be playing havoc with Grubby, because he's trying to get the last hit here, but it's going to be very hard to compete versus a Blade Master for last hit. Grunts aren't exactly terrible in damage, but Blade Master is incredibly good, even with Rings of Protection. Yeah, the danger right now is that Grubby's going to be a bit more paranoid than he probably would normally be because of that dust. Having to deal with Cash and his control, so to speak, is going to throw him off and make him maybe a little bit more hesitant to take creep camps that he should try to do anyway. Risk versus reward. We'll see how that plays out. He might not let it get to him, but after a couple of rough skirmishes like this, where Dust of Appearance has put him in a horrible position that allows him to get killed, then, yeah, he's going to be a bit more risky. Because Blade Master is all about taking risks. And right now, Grubby's thinking about taking this risk. But he's going to have to... Is he going to go for it? No. He's still only halfway through on his Blade Master. Cash is level 2.5. He is flying ahead right now in terms of experience. Shadow Hunter, most likely, almost out. Tauren Totem Bestiary. You will probably see a lot of the same compositions, unless either player decides to switch their initial first hero. It's the danger of playing an Orc mirror. I couldn't personally do it very well myself. For some reason, Orc doesn't gel great with me. It should do, but it doesn't. Where is Cash from? I honestly don't know. I just know he's an incredibly good player. But I don't know my stats so far. Green Thumb says yesterday he won with his Night Elf account versus Grubby. Yeah, I caught that. And got 51-2. So, yeah, he's at least 51 wins and 2 losses on his Night Elf account. Cash going in for a very rewarding creep camp here. We'll catch back up on that. Grubby feels safe enough to do this. Uses the dust. Finally getting level 2. He gets Pendant of Energy, which is a big deal for the Shadow Hunter. And over here, Blade Master... Sobi Mask. Oh, okay. And it actually staying on the Blade Master right now. So that gives the Blade Master more mana to spend on Windwalks to stalk. Because I guess the Shadow Hunter's only level 2 right now. He doesn't particularly need the Sobi Mask because healing is what you would typically use. Healing Wave. But it's not very powerful until you hit level 3 and get level 2 Healing Wave. Level 1 Healing Wave is... Most players go Hex first and then Healing Wave on level 2 as a backup. He's Russian, is he, Cash? But speaks English very well. Yeah. Alright, Cash looking around. Grubby will see this because of the Sentry Ward. So Grubby did get the Sentry Ward in the end, but it's cost him a lot up until this point. So there's a lot of catching up for Grubby to do. These two players are pretty close. Cash is going to be a bit sluggish here. He hasn't got a healing salve to get himself more healing. It's just the clarity of whatever heals his Shadow Hunter can provide. Grubby looking relatively strong right now. Blade Master is picking up the pace. Another rune. Unfortunately, the Watcher is in a rather rubbish position there. But I'm sure Grubby is just happy to get the kill on the Ogre. Picks up the Tome of Experience, I think, on the Shadow Hunter. So that's a good boost. Actually almost putting him further ahead than the Blade Master. The Spirit Walker moving in here. Grubby has gone for Witch Doctors, which is really cool to see. Sentry Wards are very powerful indeed. And he's actually got one here. Not only good versus enemy Blade Master, but just for tracking what your opponent's doing for potential creep jacks. Cash is running in here with the Blade Master. Grubby trying to get his Shadow Hunter into a better position. Speed scroll away. Oh, we got a Stasis Trap here. Cash realizes he's just going to take the creep camps instead. This is what you typically do. I did this as a human player, actually, first as an undead guy that didn't like losing to me yesterday. You wouldn't see that one because I played it off stream, but I was sort of like microing, fighting versus him and creeping at the same time because he was trying to do this thing where he was like making me go back and forth, and I was just like, look, I'm happy to fight you, but I'm not going to chase after you, so you fight me whilst I'm creeping this. And I did, and I still beat him with that. That's what you do. You take any creep you can if it's available, because it's free experience, especially once you get like a 50 food army. There's not many creep camps that can stand up against that. This is a lot of Witch Doctors. They're not known for their DPS, but they do extra damage. Magic does bonus damage to heavy armor from the grunts. So he'll be able to pick off the grunts after enough attacks, but it's not going to be easy. Oh, no. This Grubby's going to try to pop out. Oh, he actually passes over the invulnerability. I thought he was going to try to pop out the Shadow Hunter there. You can do that by attacking with your Blade Master inside of the circle that the Shadow Hunter is trapped within. This Witch Doctor play is really cool, but I'm not sure if it's definitely paying off. Well, their stun goes off and the grunts are taking a beating. Speaking of beating grunts, that Spirit Link, though, is definitely making it difficult to pick them off. Even with Focus Fire, because even with the bonus damage of Focus Fire. Stasis Trap down for the count. Grubby at least by his shop here, so he's got options here to keep himself alive, but he's only got 189 gold. Might be looking to purchase a mana potion or something with his... Oh no, he's going to be a healing potion on the Blade Master is what he definitely would have picked up there. Blade Master under a lot of threat. He's still going on the attack though. I think Cash might have to give this up, surely. I don't know how much longer he plans to be aggressive in this situation. He's incredibly ballsy. I probably would have run away by it now if I was Cash, but he's still going. Shadow Hunter actually with the Hex on the Blade Master. Disenchant. Grubby's Shadow Hunter actually gets picked off. Blade Master still has enough mana to escape though with another Windwalk. I guess that's what Cash was looking for. He just wanted that little bit extra, but it has cost him a Spirit Walker and potentially a Kodo as well, which might not be worth it. I don't know. Grubby doesn't have a Raider right now. He actually went with double Spirit Lodge, so I was wrong when I said it was going to be the same thing every time, even though they went same heroes. This Kodo is taking one for the team. 30 damage per hit from the Blade Master is going to take, what, 14, 15 hits from the Blade Master to actually kill it? And it's going to be in the base by that point. So Grubby won't be able to catch that. Oh, that ensnare was like the longest range possible. Not again. Not like this. No. Okay. Blade Master running for his life. I don't think he has a dust. No, he doesn't have a dust. So Grubby's Blade Master does escape. Shadow Hunter halfway through. Stasis Traps doubled. Just to make sure that at least one of them goes off. Alchemist being picked up third. Okay. Normally Orc players don't use Alchemist in any order. 1, 2 or 3. To see him at all is interesting. He's a very good hero. You just don't normally see Orcs play him. So has he gone with acid bomb or did he go healing there? Because I didn't... He must have gone acid bomb because he used his mana and I didn't see healing. Acid bomb is what you normally start off with. So many witch doctors. But Cash is really making the most out of all the creeps available to him. There's so many traps. Blade Master ready to pounce there from Grubby. It's almost like the Shadow Hunter was a bit of bait. Because you saw Cash staring that Shadow Hunter out. I could feel it. He's returning. Most likely going to move on to this creep camp. Grubby's going to take the red creep camp. Tier 3 for Cash. 49 food. He's at 0 upgrades. I so often get asked by people, you know, why don't people get upgrades or when do you get upgrades? You don't normally do it unless you're sitting at 50 food for ages and you're confident with what army. You want about 8 or so units that are going to benefit from that armor or attack damage upgrade. Because generally speaking, your heroes are going to do more damage. So even though it's not that expensive to upgrade units, it depends as well. Like if you're going rifles as a human player, it's almost always worth it. Because you're normally going to spam rifles. Whereas orcs, they get a mixture. They get a few raiders, they get a few grunts, they get a few spirit warriors, they get Kodo, and that fits them up to 50 food. An upgrade is okay, but I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. Currently, at the moment, apparently not. Agility, claws of attack, circlet. Tauren Chieftain should be able to come out here, especially thanks to that stasis trap. Even with the peons repairing, it's close. But out he comes. Ah, there we go. Witty TC. Witty. TC asserting dominance. So I'm curious as to whether Grubby went with the Tauren Chieftain because he saw a third hero from Cash and wanted to match him 3 heroes for free. Or whether he felt like Tauren Chieftain was a necessary part of the army. I would say he was going to do it anyway. Because when you go mass casters, you typically do get a Tauren Chieftain. The endurance aura and just the level of control that the casters give you makes him worthwhile. Things like Lightning Shield, although it has only been Witch Doctors. This is most unorthodox. Tier 3, did he pick up... Oh, he hasn't got Lightning Orb yet, has he? Oh, he has. He's got it on his Blade Master. And Potion of Invulnerability was one of the items he got. Witty TC indeed. So, Cash must have gone with a tiny Great Hall there, did he? I didn't actually catch everything. I'll have to get better at doing that. Potion of Greater Mana. It's not even ninja in that straight away. He must be busy with the Blade Master or trying to preoccupy himself over here. Cash coming in here, reveals himself. Grubby knows to run. There's no raider to catch him. Grubby actually making a bit of a comeback now, getting a lot of efficient creeping done over here. Although Cash has done some good creeping there. The Potion of Greater Mana is going to be very nice for a level 4 Shadow Hunter. Even better for a level 5 Shadow Hunter. Cash coming in here, but it's too late. There's no Sentry Ward, is there? Oh, there's a Sentry Ward here. That caught it. So anything that went just about there, he'll be able to see. Okay. There's no problem with the overlay. Are you guys enjoying this? Is this alright? Seems to be quite action-packed. When you're watching like good enough players, it definitely keeps things going. Almost faster than you can keep up with it. Okay, Grubby coming in towards Cash's expansion. Blade Master versus Blade Master. Hey, Stasis Trap. Oh, here we go. Is there a... No. Okay. Repositioning for the big battle. Realigning. Oh, that was a nice stomp. I'm a bit worried about the heavy focus on the Blade Master. It does put the threat down, but the Blade Master can normally be healed up to full over the period of a long fight. And he's going to tank the most damage because of his high armor. Wyvern being focused here by Grubby. Back and forth. There's a lot of back and forth as well for Grubby. Sort of like slowly pulling Cash over time into more and more stasis traps. He's trying to min-max his army. Oh, Tauren Chieftain taking a huge bucket of damage there. Lovely aura, Doomhorn. But the Potion of Healing is already gone. Shop control over here. I think there's an invulnerability available. But is Cash going to go for it? No, he's actually got items already. Filled to the brim with them. We've got Grubby pulling back ever so slightly more. The danger is his only source of damage is really that Blade Master. There's not much else damage coming out wise from Grubby. And the Blade Master is in trouble. Even with a heal, there's no... oh, no, he can't walk out of this. He's backing off as best as he can. Stasis Trap should be finished in a moment. Might be able to save the TC if the TC can squeeze through. Oh, but the heal denies. And now the Blade Master's in trouble once more. Oh, down he goes. And the Tauren Chieftain will follow very briefly afterwards. Grubby has his own Wyvern for a little bit of extra DPS, but it's not enough. I like the attempt, but unfortunately the Witch Doctors do not bring enough value by the looks of it. Yeah, that was rough. Yeah, well, Cash is really good. They're both really good players. Both really good. But I think Cash is more serious when it comes to being a professional player right now. Grubby is very much enjoying being an incredibly great player, but also just enjoying streaming and sort of doing strategies and stuff like that more than he is trying to do tournament after tournament. He doesn't really do tournaments. Score WTii. Should be 0-2. 7. Oh, I see. Okay. Did he do Grub 77? Better check his stream. I can do Grubby ++. I mean, I don't know about that stuff right now, High Rise. It's just important that I get into the games right now. It is 77 Grub. Oh, I tried to join it. I guess it was full.
To bust out the Kiwikaki strategies.
Okay, there you go. Alright, we're in for now.
I don't think it'll work against Cashman, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, that will be Farseer TC Headhunters.
See if he does that.
With shamans.
I think Hawk is waiting to join.
Works played right. Cash is not just any East player, man.
Nice pong. Oh, I got 20 ping at the moment. I don't even know how that's possible because I've got Grubby's stream in the background. Normally, yeah, there we go. It's just bounced up to 40-ish.
I know you play on Europe as well, but Cash is Cash.
I had 20 ping for a short moment there. It felt good.
Even on Europe. No, I don't think I'll switch to Elf. Thanks, guys.
I'll stick D&D on for the time being. I think I've got the thing on though. That stops any whispers from people. What was that one again, High Rise? Do you know? Do you remember what it was? I imagine I've probably already got it on. It's probably going to start the stream anyway. I have Perma D&D on. Yeah. Alright. Looks like we're starting, so I'll turn his stream off in the background and I'll come back into the game. Last Refuge is the map. And we have Grubby spawning in the bottom left as the green orc. Oh, Side, hey, how's it going? Thank you very much there for the host there, Side. Komodo hype to you. Thanks a lot for that. Side is a really cool undead player. So, if you want to learn how to play undead, particularly with the fiends, he's incredibly good with his fiend micro. A bit sickeningly. So, he can pull off quite a lot with that. So, anyone that's new to undead might want to check out Side's stream as well for that. You'll learn a lot, trust me. Okay, on the right hand side, at the top, we have Cash as his red orc. It's good that the players have consistency with colours. You know? There's nothing worse than when players change their colour each time in different games. You have... you stick to green, you stick to red. Good. Happy? We got that sorted? Fortunately, these players know better. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm enjoying the show match. It's rather grubby than me. I was saying earlier, Orc is I don't do well versus Orc if I'm fighting as them or against them. Whatever race. Even as human. Like, human is supposed to have some advantages versus Orc. But I don't feel it when a Blade Master is attacking my Archmage. The Hawk in the lobby is the Hawk from Russia. Yeah, the Hawk from MTG now. He's joined that clan. He's the one from War 3 Arena. He was always sort of like rank 1, rank 2, you know, up at the top there. Grubby with the slightly aggressive Voodoo Lounge here to basically pick up the healing salve ever so quickly after creeping this camp. No time to run back to here. Gotta go fast. Cash moving in with Blade Master. Grunt following behind. Shadow Voodoo Lounge further back down the base. I want to see where they go next. Grubby sitting on 20 food, so there's definitely a tech coming. Picking up the claws of attack. Shop is finished just in time. 7 TP. Picking up 2 healing cells and a scroll. We've got Circlet of Nobility for Cash. Popping over to his shop. Troll Trappers. Is he going to get the ensnare off? No. Rejected. Grubby picking off the High Priest. He actually delayed his attack there a little bit, just in case Cash was about to get the last hit there on the Creepjack with the Windwalk. Grubby, keep moving. He's got the... Oh, no. Yep, he actually gets the hit on the Grunt, pulls it back, and even the Troll gets an extra hit. Illusion being used here to try to block off the Grunt's path. Grubby enjoying this healing salve all the time, though. Can't even turn around with his Grunt to hit him because it could cost him the Grunt. Speed Scroll being used here. Speed Scroll being used to escape with the Grunt as well. Speed Scroll versus Speed Scroll. Can't do that when it costs 200 gold, eh? Yeah. Oh, what do we see? We see Cash with Dust of Appearance again. So watch out for your Blade Master, Grubby. Cash doing the dance, stutter step micro to trying to mitigate the amount of damage he's taken in total from the Grunt, because the Grunt has to chase in between attacks. This is a battle of wheels. Oh no, no! It's not happening again, is it? Okay, Grubby manages to pull off enough distance that another Windwalk wouldn't be enough to bring it in. Using the wand to mess with Cash and keep vision of him as well. Grubby's going to come in here. He's got the claws. Cash has got double circlet though, so he will win. If they have equal health, double circlet will easily beat claws. Easily. I think circlet would beat claws anyway. Let alone 2 of them. Oh, Cash managing to get the extra 40 hit there, sorry. It's 40 on the level 1 blade, Windwalk. Grubby. This is like... One of these Grunts is going to die, and I think it's going to be Grubby's one, to be honest. He's going to find it hard to try to block off Cash from reaching that Grunt. He's trying right now, but the Windwalk will come through, and there's another Windwalk after that. So Grubby's going to have to settle for trying to pick off one of Cash's Grunts, because 100% he loses this Grunt. And Grubby really wants to get some sort of revenge for the lost Grunt. No way to deny the kill either. And the Blade Master's not in a healthy enough position here to really chase down very easily. He's got the trap, but he's got to be wondering how close is Cash's Blade Master. Enough that Grubby feels the need to run away. So he can't get a pick off. Shadow Hunter for Cash. Bestiary. And there might be a Tauren Totem soon. Grubby going to get the interrupt on the healing for both Cash and his Grunt, causing more healing cells. In fact, the last one to be used on the Grunt. Grubby popping around to the shop, picks up a dust. Oh no. The ensnare is going to go off. Oh, Grubby's going to have to stand and defend this. He's okay though, because the other Blade Master is not in the shape to cause too much trouble. The double ensnare. Okay, so Grubby's got his own Shadow Hunter picking up healing salve, scroll speed, lesser clarity. Tauren Totem following after the Bestiary. There we go, Tauren Totem up here. Cash moving forth into Grubby's territory. Finds a Grunt to Hex. Grubby does likewise, but Scroll of Speed says no. Grubby moving to most likely creep the Ogre Magi. Moves straight in. Hexes. But Cash is coming back for more. Is he going to get the last hit? Ah, he does. So, Grubby has 2 ensnared grunts. Not looking happy, but Cash is actually in a bit of a pickle there. He does have enough mana shortly for another wind walk, so he shouldn't really be able to get picked off. Grubby's Blade Master stepping forth a bit too aggressively there. He's trying to creep this whilst keeping him busy with the Blade Master, but I think there's too much damage being taken for that to be worthwhile. Scroller speed being used to escape with the Blade Master, leaving this creep camp a little bit open for Cash if he wants to go for it, but there's no healing cells for Cash. So maybe he doesn't feel, or he wants to wait. It's a matter of tension right now. Okay, tech towards tier 3 for Cash. Grubby stand at tier 2 at this moment. Really unfortunate with the position here on the Raider. The burrow is blocking there. He's sending a couple of peons to chop the trees. This happens a lot when you're a human player. You block off your base at the start as a human player, but then you regret it immediately when you double click your town portal and then get sent back to the base. I've done that a lot of times, more times than I care to imagine, but it's not fun when that happens, and then you have to get your peons to chop the trees. The power of hindsight would allow you to chop the trees in advance. Each tree has 50 health, which basically means 50 chops from a peasant or a peon. So you could do like 40 chops here, 40 chops here. So if it happened that your hero did get stuck, it's only going to take 10 chops per tree. But you're not realistically going to be able to count that well and play the game at the same time. But it's something you could do. Okay, pause here for Grubby as he enters the shop. He's got Potion of Healing, Circle It, Claws, Scroll of Speed, and he must be looking for an Invulnerability Potion. Still no pickup on these. Well, maybe they don't go for Boots of Speed in an Orc mirror, but they would go for Boots of Speed against a human player or an undead player. We'll see what he picks up. He has gone for the Invulnerability. Ah, Cash has the 15 seconds. That's crazy. I could imagine that getting nerfed down to 12 seconds. 15 seconds invulnerability is a lot. But then again, there are amazing items that you could get otherwise. Cash is going to pull off the block here versus the Ogre Lord. And this guy can actually drop an aura item. So let's see what he gets for Cash. It is going to be... Oh my goodness, Kager's Pipe of Insight. Not too bad. I think maybe Unholy Aura or Endurance Aura, if you're not going Tauren Chieftain, would be the absolute favoured aura for Orcs. But this is basically level 1.5 Brilliance Aura, I think. It's like level 1 Brilliance Aura at the very least. Most of them are always level 1, but they might be like a 1.5 kind of equivalent. Pipe is the best for Orcs, I'm being told. I can believe it to a degree, but it's only really the Spirit Walkers and the Shadow Hunter that benefit from it. Of course, the Shadow Hunter is like the backbone of the Orc army, with that heal just keeping you going forever. Frostwolf says, actually, the Doomhorn, that's the Unholy Aura, is what you want in an Orc mirror. Pipe is not the first item you want. There are arguments breaking out already. Which pipe do you want? Eh? Grubby picks off the left one, gets agility for his Blade Master to make up for the nerf on the Blade Master, -2 agility. Ah! Pipe of Insight. And I'm glad Grubby got that and didn't get, like, well... I forget the name of it now. How can I forget the name of it? It's like Globe of Rubbish. It just gives you free vision. Bong of Insight. No, that's not it. Crystal Ball, that's it. Yeah, you don't want that. I suggested... Oh, he actually ninjas, I think, the experience, and definitely one of the items. Crystal Ball should be something like Circlet of Nobility, and the ability to reveal units. I don't know if it's too strong to make it +3 to all stats, and the ability to reveal. If it was +2 to all stats, and the ability to reveal, it would at least be comparable. Hey, Ensnare picking off the grunt. Grubby pushing through. Invulnerability on the Blade Master. No invulnerability on the Shadow Hunter. Has got the healing and a lot of mana. Scroller speed, just be a bit careful on that. Cash coming in to get... I think he was going to go for an invulnerability, but he's got full inventory. He's probably just checking just to see if it's being picked up. He gets a good look at Grubby's army right now with that Blade Master. A lot of scouting information here. Grubby with the Kodo, with the Spirit Walkers, Raiders, Grunt, Peons. He's got 50 food right now. And 0-0 on the upgrades, as usual. 0-0 on the upgrades for Cash, who's also at 50 food. Actually, Grubby just aggroed the mercenary camp here with the illusion. That's a trick he's learned, because I've seen it on his stream where it's happened to him. And now he's utilising that information. And look at this Grunt. He got ensnared twice. So he's been pulled back from the army. Now, let's see what happens here. I might just try to let this happen, because it's pretty hard to commentate Orc Mirror when it just looks like this. But Kodo being heavily focused here. Cash will pick that off, but Grubby will get a Kodo in return. Now the Ethereal form needs another ensnare. Kodo still got to be brought down. Blade Master focusing Cash's Shadow Hunter. Cash is now just chasing down the rest of Grubby's units that are getting a little bit cumbersome and blocked. I feel that Grubby didn't necessarily need to run away from that one, but perhaps that might have been the better judgment. He has got less food currently, and he's got a lot of money to spend, so there's no need to have an all-out fight if he's not fully prepared for it, which he might want to purchase a few more items before he does. Blade Master more scouting information. Grubby going out on the prowl, picking up the Orb of Lightning. More Kodos. Well, a Kodo to replace the last Kodo. Spirit Walker. Cash having a good look. Take a picture. It will last longer. Grubby can now see Cash's... Oh, okay. He's going for the Grunt. A little bit on the Shadow Hunter. We got Clarity. We got Potion of Mana. Level 3 Shadow Hunter for the level 2 heal. Likewise for Grubby. He's got a bit less mana on his Shadow Hunter. Cash is still at 50 food. Grubby at 50 food as well. Ooh, it's going to be an awkward fight for this mercenary creep camp. Every little helps. But Cash is going to make the most of this creep camp. And he's going to try to snipe with the Blade Master on this creep camp, I imagine. Grubby's got to move in quick here, because this is going to get very uncomfortable. I think Cash is going to be in a better position to pick up the Rock Golem, but maybe the Rock Golem never gets killed during this whole fight. It's Grubby's Grunt versus the Rock Golem at the moment. Blade Master pulling back, reasserting position. That was a lovely bolt. I'm sure Grubby appreciated that from the Rock Golem at that moment. Okay, so Grubby with the 60 food now, so he's pushing forward. Quite obviously so, because Cash is outside of his door, so he wants to have an army that can match it. Cash throwing down a Voodoo Lounge, moving up towards the 60 food mark himself. So he's got a shop to fall back on. If that managed to go up, that was a nice ensnare. Gets a lot of damage on that Blade Master, and little damage taken in return. Cash is now a little bit flustered, pulling back ever so slightly, reasserting. Grubby's moving forward, focusing the Raider. We still got 0-0 upgrades. Scroller speed used for Grubby. Cash going in on more damage, focusing on Grubby's Blade Master. Has got the invulnerability potion, will be saved for the time being. Heals need to be applied. Likewise, damage being returned to Cash's Blade Master. There are Raiders now in trouble for both players, but Grubby is about to lose one, but it will cost Cash a Kodo, potentially another Kodo picking up a Raider, so he's got to bring down that Kodo as well. Or does he go on the Blade Master? Because the Blade Masters are both low for both players, but Cash... he has the invulnerability for such a long time with that Blade Master, so there's no way to truly kill him as long as he can use it. Unless he can get a Hex off at the last second. But I don't know if he's going to pull that off. There are disenchants to cancel and abolish the magic that is Hex. Grubby in trouble once more. The Blade Master going to go down. Oh, the last minute heal there. Just keeping his Blade Master alive. I thought that was going to be it again. Now Grubby, with that heal, is able to put a bit more damage. Got to be just a bit more careful though. There are more heals. Only one more heal for the Shadow Hunter. He has got a lot of damage. He's basically winning this fight. As long as he doesn't lose that Blade Master, I would pull back, get that shot, get that clarity on the Shadow Hunter. This Blade Master cannot be killed, surely. Oh, invulnerability last second there. That's good. That uses a, what is it, 15-second invulnerability? That's a 15-second invulnerability doing nothing right now other than stopping the Blade Master from dying. Which is worth it, but you want to get more out of it. You want to be doing damage whilst you've got it active. Grubby putting in damage. I'm really scared for his Blade Master though. The Shadow Hunter has picked up clarity and he's got a mana potion, so the Blade Master could potentially stay alive here. Oh, he's going to be focused on the Blade Master again. Cash just scraping out of this. The Grubster is chasing hard though. He's got a Raider ready to pick off 1 or 2 units. The best... Oh, that Hex at the last moment. But the Disenchant means that the Raider will be able to ensnare one more time. Raider versus Raider. Here we go. This is going to go better for Grubby than it's going to go for Cash. He's got to return all the way back. Utilize the shop. All of his return. He's got 47 food right now. Grubby moving in and actually gets the kill on the Blade Master. Hyper aggression. Boom. Nailing it. 63 food versus 57 food. Whew. That was crazy. Pretty good. Alright, now we do the dance where I've got to check again. Did it? Okay. They're sorting out the map at the moment. Could you imagine having to micro that hard? Human Mirror can actually be one of the worst mirrors in the game. Mostly if it gets to like 60 food of Spellbreakers. It's quite horrible, but at least Human Mirror can be dominated up to a point. Generally speaking, Human Mirror is won fairly early, with whichever player gets the most right clicks on the other player's Archmage is the one that's probably going to win. So as long as you do a better job of out-microing your opponent at the start as a human player, you can normally take that through to victory. But I don't feel the same with Orc. I feel like every micro matters in Orc. So I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to play the whole game through being that stressed. Okay. Just right click. Yeah. You could just right click. I mean, that's what the Blade Master's for, I suppose. Just right click. That's all you got to do.
Kiesel Stainter says, awesome game to watch. Thank you very much.
Grubby plus plus. Oh, right, you're adding on.
Okay, so... the problem with getting gift subs times 20 is that I get to see...
I'm going to try
some
to
donation
get
for you guys.
the right amount of arrows pointing to Grubby.
And you're gonna have to wait for it. See, this is Coov, MG. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait about...
Well, what he's on his chair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I'll give you one hint. Hoan 85.
There we go.
No, that was not the real hog. Does it have music? Yes. Yes, it does. Everyone that's trying to join, I apologize, but we are playing with just 2 observers. We can actually see it with last donation. Oh, you're right, you're right. You're right. This is not the real hog.
That's Grubby you can hear in the background just checking.
Everyone,
Will I try this map?
It's not personal. Just, we're going with 2 ops.
You are being pushy with that.
And,
Alien versus Predator. I can save it to my list and add it on later. That's normally what I do. I just save it to me Firefox favorites, and then when I get a spare moment, I'll add that all to the list appropriately.
Most players look for Hawk, then just let him switch. It's not as easy. It's smart, but it's not as easy as you think, because then we need to open another one to make them swap, and then someone else can join. Anyway, that was perfect item balance. We both built brilliant. 1 minute, please.
The item balance was good in that.
Okay, we're 2 gift subs away.
They've got a minute before they're going to start the game. Challenge Grubby to a 1 versus 1. That sounds like a bad idea.
Brilliant, so we're both got lucky. The problem, the difference difference is
Cash is doing that for us. Cash is fighting Grubby for us.
the whole cap.
Just imagine we're Cash, okay? Think of it that way.
Double triple.
Because I'm not going to be able to do as good a job.
Here we go.
I like to pick on the weak only, like you.
Thank you very much, dude.
A little bit. I at least want to have a 50-50 is what I want. I don't like playing against people too much better than myself. I always want like a 50-50. People that are basically as bad as me.
Alright, I will continue. So here is a very interesting...
Okay. We're going for it. Turned off Grubby's stream. Coming back into this. Twisted Meadows. Interesting. We're getting to see quite a few. I mean, this is interesting for me because I don't normally watch replays or anything like that. So when you see me do 1 versus 1, I am pretty much making it up. I've played so many games, but I've never been someone to study what it is I should be doing. I've always been the kind of person that just likes to make it up as I go along, which I learned from 4 versus 4 RT. Doing so many 4 versus 4 RT games just basically taught me how to just make stuff up on the fly, but it didn't teach me how to play properly, which is what you really need to do when you're doing 1 versus 1. Oh, they did change the colours. You're right. Cash is now blue. Grubby is red. Grubby took Cash's colour, and then Cash had to go blue. So this is Grubby's fault, basically, because Grubby should have switched to green, allowing Cash to take red. So we know who to blame for this one. Grubby going with the Voodoo Lounge early opening. Cash as well. Blade Master, I have to assume. Blade Master. And Peon is being sent in the right direction to scout. Cash not sending anything to scout by the looks of it. So Grubby's going to get good early information on his opponent. Or is he? Is he going for cross-map scout? I wonder what this Peon's up to now. He's not going to cancel his Blade Master at the last moment and pick up a Tavern Hero. I guess it's a cross-map scout. You were so close, Mr. Peon. You were so close. The only danger of scouting early versus a high-level opponent is, in this position, if Cash sees that Peon, which he would do, because the buildings have about as much vision as the peons do, if not more. Ever so slightly more. Cash would automatically know where Grubby's spawn position is. So by doing a cross-map scout, Grubby doesn't actually reveal his position by scouting. Looks like the peon's going to go down though, so he's not going to find the base until the last moment. Nope, it's actually going east. But the Blade Master almost looks like he knows about the peon. This is strange. But he's not watching. He's not watching. At that precise moment, he must have went to build a burrow and do his tech. And that's the only way that peon survived, is for that few, like 1 or 2 seconds at most, he went back to his base to go and tech and build a burrow. That is the luckiest peon ever. So Grubby was really looking for where Cash is to get a good opening start. He can definitely cancel the barracks, which is pretty huge, because Grubby's barracks will not get cancelled in this scenario, and his burrow is actually a lot more vulnerable. I'm worried about this peon actually bringing that Blade Master back to his own base. Gets the peon killed. Cash is not going to go to Grubby's base though, but he could actually no, I don't think he could cancel the barracks if it's at half health with a Blade Master on level 1. I don't think you could. So Cash is going to have to focus on tier 2 units. Now I would wonder, what do you take from this? I've just cancelled my opponent's barracks. What's the best thing for me to do? Spam grunts? Because what's the best melee unit he's going to build? Raiders? Raiders don't do well versus grunts. He'd have to go heavier into Spirit Walkers to deal with those grunts. And he might not necessarily want to go too heavy into Spirit Walkers because they're a bit... I mean, they're not bad, but they're not exactly super useful either. He's throwing a lot of damage here on the burrows, which is, again, slowing down Cash's lumber by having 2 peons not chopping trees, and he's going to have to pull more peons off here to repair here, which is extra cost in repairs. That should be enough to stay alive with 3 peons just perfectly at the last moment there. Cash taking the opportunity to try to pick off this Troll Trapper, which will drop a tome. And all the players want Tome of Experience, but we'll see what he gets. Gets Agility +2. Not a bad consolation prize at all. Grubby has the Grunt, but I guess it will be used for scouting purposes. It does find a Blaze Master if he caught it. I think he saw that. War Mill in the back for Cash. This is costing him dearly. He's only going to be able to put down one tech structure. And that's if he goes for a hero straight away, he won't be able to put down any tech structures. Let's see what he does. I think he's going to go second hero straight away. Yep. Gets the Shadow Hunter so he can deal with this really annoying Playmaster. I mean, this is Circlet of Nobility, so it actually makes sense for Grubby to spend so much time. Oh, he's gone massive aggression. This is Firelord play. Blade Master's oh, he's going Speed Scroll. Windwalk. The dust. Does he he's still revealed, but the distance. He's got another dust. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, Firelord's doing some good additional pressure. Meanwhile, Cash hasn't been able to build a single thing useful. Grubby's got 2 of his tech structures, which is double bestiary this time. Wonder why has he gone double bestiary? Is it Raiders? Is it Wyvern? Why did he stop? There's the issue of, even if the enemy Blade Master is super low, if they are, I don't know, if they're like that close, then you chase. If they're like that close, then you probably just give up. Because you'll never catch them if they keep running away in a different direction. The downside, oh, lovely block here from Grubby, but unfortunately the Blade Master comes smoothly through there, thanks to the Windwalk. But that was a good way to mitigate some of the damage taken. That's the downside of Firelord. He's an aggressive player that gives you an advantage at pushing, but he's incredibly vulnerable. Very easy to pick off. Very low health pool. Very squishy. A few right clicks from the Blade Master deals with him quite nicely. So the downside for Grubby right now is he's now stuck with that Firelord. And I get the feeling that might be... Unless he can end the game early enough, he's going to regret that first as a Shadow Hunter. Oh, gets the deny. Uses the Grunt to pick off his own Grunt. And that stops any more experience going to Cash. Grubby actually hasn't got any experience so far. But I think the damage he's done has made that worthwhile. There is a Tauren Titan in the back for the Spirit Walkers. We have Raiders and the Firelord coming back with the Healing, the Scroll of Speed, and the Clarity. I feel like that's what Grubby typically picks up every time he goes to the shop. Gets one of each. He's using the Clarity right now on his Firelord, so he can have another bunch of lava spawns to throw more damage. As long as he keeps Cash's heroes and doesn't take too much damage from those burrows low, he has control here and will continue to have control for quite some time. Oh, they're healing. But the Raiders, have they got in snare? They got in snare. That should be a dead Shadow Hunter, so return damage is on the Firelord. GG already. Early domination there from Grubby. Just caught the Blade Master getting picked off at the end there. Look at that. 1-1 on both heroes, and the game's over. What's the score now then? Is it 2-all? 2-all in a best of 7. How many wins do you need? Is it 4 wins? It'll be 4 wins, 3 losses, I think. I have to finish Shopping Mall USA. Did we not beat it? I can't remember. I remember it was quite convoluted, but we should probably play that instead of Warhammer 40k TD, because it was basically like that, where you could gamble. I mean, you could bank, but it's probably better made. Oh, it was crashing. Yeah, it might have done. Yeah, 4-3. 4-3. Let's pull up Grubby's stream again then for the time being. And I'll try to find out what Cash is... After this is done, I'm going to have to sort of like do all the videos for today. Because we had some good videos for today to go on the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/WTiiWarcraft. Okay, let's pull that up. So I've got to do all of that. Because I haven't taken a break yet, have I? I haven't taken a break apart from that pizza. It takes an hour to eat. It's a big pizza. Too big, to be honest.
Right.
That's a
Cash
fake
is
Gagoo.
not just any East player, man.
He's got a fake Gagoo in the channel.
I know you play on Europe as well, but Cash is Cash.
I can't join it.
Every other org is going to be easier than Cash, even on Europe. No, I don't think I'll switch to Elf. Thanks, guys.
There we go. Oh no. I was actually watching a restream. when I went back to his video, it goes, I see what happened. I thought it was a fake Gagoo.
They're using color codes, which doesn't appear in the lobby yet.
Okay. I thought there was actually another one. I don't think you could join anyway, unless you was part of the Discord thingy. Alright, we're in the game anyway. You've watched every single video I've made. And Shopping Mall USA is the, I think, the only one you haven't beaten.
Let me update the map pool in our Discord.
But if it crashed, then that's not really my fault. So does it still crash?
The two remaining maps are Concealed Hill and Northern Isles.
I think we're going to get going in a moment. There we go. Alright. Okay. Here we are. Tyrannus Stand. One of my most favoured maps. I think it is. I think I like this map more than I hate it. It is a bit of a love-hate style map. There's a lot of potential exploits. But if you're fighting against a Blade Master, you might regret playing on this map. There's quite a lot of hotspots that the Blade Master can pick off to give himself boosters. Some nice item from here, nice item here, and he can basically take your stuff as well. And you can get creepjacked over here if they actually use a speed scroll to get over there. But I don't think they need to worry about that because they're not fighting against human. They're just fighting against each other. Orc mirror. So Cash is up at the top left. Going with barracks. Grubby, I think, did both the games he won, he went Shadow Voodoo Lounge first. No, he went Grunts in the other game, but I think he started with a Voodoo Lounge. I know he won at least one of them with it. Yeah, Voodoo Lounge again. It makes sense on this map because there's a lot of creeping. What you'll basically get to do is you'll get to see some good creeping from both players. Some hot spots. There's multiple places you can go. You can go over here. There's an easy item here, but it's only level 1. But it's like 3 hits from a Blade Master and you get the item. You just go slightly out of your way to get it, but not too much. The hot spot at the start is definitely these wizards. So will the players take the moment to come over here, sell the TP, get the circlet, but that's extra travel time they could have used to bring down a wizard potentially. So I'll be very interested to see exactly where both players go with their Blade Masters. Grubby's still not going with the barracks, so this is going to be a tech and then barracks afterwards, I assume. Too many choke points. The bridge is actually reasonably large. It's not like the Warcraft 3 bridge, you know, the brown wooded planked bridge. This is like an actual terrain bridge. So you actually have a decent chunk of space. Grubby actually going straight out there, picks up 2 healings and speed. Oh, Cash already. He did go over to the shop, sells a TP, gets circlet, gets the dust as he does, and he's windwalking. Grubby going for the bottom. Cash going for the bottom as well, is he? Yep. Oh no, does Grubby, did he hear that? He might have heard it, he might have saw it. His spidey senses are tingling. He knows something's not right. But in this situation, Grubby has the advantage because he hasn't bothered to build a grunt that's not doing anything right now. Cash's grunt is doing scouting. Cash, is he going to come over here do this? Or is he going to go straight for the harass? Ooh, oh, he's going to get some damage done in this base. Okay, this is going to favour Cash now at this point. Because Grubby's still thinking that Cash's Blade Master is nearby, which is why he's not committing. But now he sees the Blade Master in his base. He's going to commit to these creeps. He's going to get the items, but it's going to cost him. Jolly Panda Man, thank you very much there for the resub. Oh, this could cost him 2 burrows. It's going to cost him 2 burrows. That is horrible. You can at least get 1 grunt. He picks up the Gloves of Haste, but I don't know if he's coming down for this one as well.
I like you better than Grubby.
Oh,
no offense to him, by the way, playing more Warcraft Royale.
Yeah, we did a Warcraft Royale earlier. That I will try to put like a Warcraft Royale like once a week. Same with Custom Hero Survival on the channel, because people do like to see that. The grunt though. Oh, Cash is looking to deny his own grunt. Look at this. Hey! Uses the Wind Walk to definitely do it. Totally worth it in my opinion to guarantee that grunt experience. 3 burrows cancelled though. 3 burrows cancelled. However, how much does that really hurt Grubby right now? He has the item. He picked off a grunt. Cash is worse for wear. 4 burrows cancelled. Sounds like a lot. It is a lot. But there's no healing salve here for this Blade Master. I think he's going to go to the shop, buy a Staff of Teleportation. I wouldn't be surprised if he did. Otherwise, he's got a really long way to travel back to go and heal. He's not going to be able to do anything for ages now. It's hard to tell, truly. I think I would favour Grubby in that situation. It looks more obvious that Grubby won because the enemy Blade Master's lower health. Grubby got the grunt kill. But the economy damage is also important as well. 105 wood. Grubby can just about get a second hero here. Meanwhile, Cash has got his second hero. He's got his tier 2 buildings going. So you got to look at it from that point of view as well. There's the damage to the economy. Grubby really wants some blood here. Red blood off those grunts. We're back to green versus red. He could probably pick off this grunt with a bit more body blocking, which he's doing perfectly so far. Just needs to keep it up for a bit longer. Cash trying to do his own body blocking.
I have no time for
I think he'll get the grunt. Oh, another speed scroll. Saves the grunt though, so I was wrong. To you, puppy. Thank you very much. I think of myself more of a budgerigar though, to be fair. Barracks with the grunt. Cash. We got the dust. Shadow Hunter out in time. Grubby might have been a bit too greedy right now. I think that Blade Master goes down. Oh, that's rough, because now the grunt goes down as well. So easy for that to happen. So easy for that to happen. You just get caught up in the motion. You want that extra kill. I've done this too many times myself. You stay in a fight that you just shouldn't. You can't help it. You're enjoying it too much. Part of the reason why that was a lot of greed. A lot of greed. But also, you got to remember, he's behind his opponent in economy. So if he's looking at his base and he's going, oh, okay, you know, my Shadow Hunter's just come out now. But he should have taken into account that Cash would have been ahead on economy. So his Shadow Hunter should definitely be out by about that time. So it was greed mostly costing him at that point. So Slippers of Agility, a good pickup here. Shadow Hunter can utilize that until he passes it over to the Blade Master, or maybe he keeps it, I don't know. The down, it's not too bad actually. He can't do too much creeping, but at least there's something he can still do with his hero. Thank goodness for that green camp. It's something before the Blade Master comes back, and he moves in now. Renegade Wizard. Cash has got a 40 food army, and he's moving aggressively out onto the field. Grubby on 29 food. He's got units ready to go, but they are building up. Nothing from the bestiary so far. Is it going to be Kodo base? Oh, it's a Raider, yeah. It makes more sense for Raider. This is taking too long. Raider is going to pick off... Oh, that was nice. Hex speed scroll saves the day. You got to get in that base and you got to hug it. Unfortunately, Cash gets the creep camp now, or what's left of it, which, you know, is at least an item and a bit of experience. Grubby might try to get the last hit on this, but if he does, it's going to be frosted. You got to remember that. That's greed. But he does have a Windwalk to back himself up, so it costs him mana more than anything else. Cash, I think, realizes he's got an advantage here, food-wise. So he's going to apply more pressure by purchasing a Berserker. And Grubby is going to take some damage here at this point. Hey, Sneaky Snitch, Chugga Chugga, how you doing? Grubby, that grunt is not looking good. Peon's coming out here to spread some more damage with the Spirit Link when it's available. The Raiders could be the next one to go. He's got to pull back a little bit. Blademaster in trouble. So the grunt loss is unfortunate.
Chugga chugga.
Chugga chugga. It's definitely got to hang in there. Just keep close to the base. Don't get too debated out of it. Cash pulling back. Doesn't want to go too close to those burrows, nor the shop. He knows he has the advantage at the moment, for the time being, food-wise. So he's going to try to use that to take the creeps if he can't take Grubby out in his own base. There's going to be a combat over this. Cash doesn't have any mana left on the Blademaster, but he's in at the right time. I think Grubby got the... I don't know, actually. I think Grubby... I don't even know what happened. Because Cash didn't get the last hit on it. I'm sure Grubby must have got the last hit. But Cash might have got the item. It all happened so fast. It would be more obvious if it was the last hit, but it wasn't.
A player's forces are under attack.
What do you mean I say to battle like a mangled catfish? How do you know what a mangled catfish sounds like? To battle! I don't know if it sounds like that. Cash is just taking advantage whilst he can, picking off whatever he can in Grubby's territory. He's good at doing that. He's very solid with his creeping. And creeping other people's stuff. That Blademaster though, I mean that Scroll of Healing's giving him a lot of confidence. Oh, Grubby might get a Raider pick off, but he's definitely losing his own Raider in return. Yes, he manages to pick that off. We have 47 food versus 43 food on Grubby, so Cash has more, but most of that could still be back in his base, rallying along. Grubby finding a grunt, but can't get past his own peons. Wind walks through. The grunt survives thanks to the Spirit Link and is healed with the Scroll of Healing. Puts him just slightly outside of the range of being picked off by the Blademaster. Grubby having to return back here. Peons on toe. This looks a bit harder for Grubby right now. He's 10 food down, if the food is to be trusted, which means Cash gets to once again creep not only your enemy's stuff, but get the items from it as well. Parry up to Vitality is not one of the most favoured items here, but it is better than nothing. It's additional health, and that's good for the Blademaster, especially at this stage of the game, because the longer that Blademaster can stay in the fight, the better. Grubby's, Kodos, trying to find their mark. They can't do it. Speed scroll, not enough. And now the next code is going to go down. He doesn't actually have the speed scroll, and this is super costly for Grubby. 2 Kodos. That is like 520 gold. It's a lot. It's a lot. 510 gold or something. Yeah, it's rough. Okay, Cash going to pick off another Raider, if that Raider can catch up with another one. He's trying to get the... Oh, yeah, the Micro versus the Kodos here. Cash's Raiders going off here. We've got Grubby with the injured Spirit Walkers, but Grubby focusing Cash's Spirit Walkers as well. This is super messy, but I have to give this to Cash right now. He's looking very solid in this fight, and there's more reinforcements coming through. And Grubby using that potion of healing to keep himself alive for the time being, but Raiders being picked off. Grubby going to take down that Kodo, maybe, if he can get enough DPS. Blademaster needs a bit more. It's not bad on the items, but the Spirit Link holds true. Now we got Follow Grubby being surrounded. There's no mana. There is no heal. That Blademaster looks like he's going down. Oh. GG. Cash taking it back. That was harsh. That was harsh. Hello, Jack the Snake Mars. Finally, I watched you live for the first time. Finally! Yeah, I normally finish my stream roughly around the time a lot of Americans might be getting up or something. Yes, I'm here, Envy. Yes, I'm here. I got to do like 40 push-ups. Do you think so? I don't think so. I don't think I have to do any more push-ups today. Thank you, Fitball. I will try to have a nice day. Alright, wheat race. Do you want me to say it after you've given the bits or before?
I have no time for
Go! That's a pretty good one, to be fair. Make the most of that one. Okay, I might want to move down if I can. Otherwise, I'm fighting Grubby. I'm going to pick green, since it's green versus red. Thank you for the bits.
We didn't do vetoes, we just agreed on 7. Be right back, restroom.
Grubby's just BRBing. No, not me versus Grubby. I used to have a 100% win rate versus Grubby. About 12 years ago, maybe even longer than that, probably more like 14 years ago, I played a 4 versus 4 arranged team with some friends, and Grubby was on the enemy team. And my friends were doing like a 3v3, and I was doing like a 1 versus Grubby on the left-hand side. It was that it was that snow map, plains of snow. 4 players left side, 4 players right side. And you've got this kind of like long entrance to each base. And I was winning my fight at the top. And for the longest time I had a 100% win rate versus Grubby. Gold! Thank you very much there, Panzer. And then unfortunately I decided to play the ladder. And I came across Grubby. And then I lost. I think my first loss was really bad. It was like I was Demon Hunter. And the game just went terribly for me. But I had a better game as a human player against him. But it still wasn't great. Ember, thank you there for the host. H the Husky Proud. I don't know about that. Such a good solo caster. You think? The games are good though, so it's easy to solo cast. I struggle more if there's not so much going on or the players are a bit more slow paced. But at the moment it's
well, you can call it
strong pace.
Even skill.
I have no time for
Thank you for the bits there. Thank you Kidson for the 30 years of subscriptions.
No, thank you, Flowers.
Just thinking about the
Who's
map
Flowers?
where the item
Oh,
drops down.
Chaco, thank you very much there for the host. I was actually going to host you afterwards. But you have been going late, definitely.
Standard items
Very
is
late.
pretty tough.
Because I imagine you want to get some food right now, don't you?
I think
Thank you there,
the
Chaco.
talisman,
Hope you're having a good one.
The rock golem, I'm not
Just
sure.
doing a shoutcast of Grubby versus Cash at the moment.
Place might be
The current score is... What was it? Is it 3 wins to Cash, 2 wins to Grubby, so... It's going to get lots of chicken. That's a good choice. Can't go too far wrong with chicken. The only way you can go wrong with chicken is if you're doing bodybuilding and you eat nothing but chicken. Then you start to regret it.
I'm actually considering to
But I don't
play
actually... I used to eat a lot of chicken, but I think I stopped having it so much.
Blade feels a little wonky.
I started having too much pizza now. Pizza. I've even got it on my desk. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you can solo creep the Murlocs. That's true. You can solo creep the little cat.
You turned that follow back on, did you, in between? You burned your chicken earlier today. Oh, that's not good, is it? What, do you have a barbecue? I think that's the only burnt chicken you want to have, if it's barbecued. You probably don't want to eat chicken otherwise, if it's burnt.
I don't think I'm ready for the Kiwi Kaki strat.
Okay, game's starting, so I'm going to turn Grubby's stream off. Oh, sorry, they were checking whether I was in the game or not. I am. I probably should have said. I think they were waiting for me to say, yes, I'm in. Okay. I'll just call it a barbecue. Yeah, that would work as well. If you can convince yourself enough, I have barbecued this deliberately. This is definitely barbecued chicken. You might actually be able to eat it as if it's a placebo effect and not be affected by the negative charcoal and burning carcinogenics that are involved within. We've gone quite deep into this chicken talk, that's for sure. Grubby at the top right here. Green Orc starting off with barracks. I guess he's had enough of that Voodoo Lounge. I think the main reason why they're both starting off with barracks is because this map offers a bit better rewards for Orange Creek camps than it does for Green Creek camps. I don't actually play this map. Film Ting created this map, and Film Ting's very good at creating maps. But I have issues with this one, being that the expansion is near impossible to do. So if you're playing as human, why play this map? This expansion is near impossible to do. There's like no reason to have this map turned on as a human player, to be frank with you. And the Red Creek camp here has air units above it. So you don't really want that. Thank you there, Wheat Wreath. Oh, Link again with the £5 pledge. Thank you very much there on the Patreon. Are you repeating stuff there, High Rise? I think you're repeating a bunch of stuff, aren't you? You're just trying to mess me up now, aren't you? That stuff shouldn't be playing off. Okay. Blade Master. Oh god, what is going on? Don't you remember, High Rise, when you were saying that you were trying to not distract me and you were going to turn off follows so that I can do this without distractions? And then an hour later, you're playing stupid noises from like Patreon pledges from like 3 weeks ago. How should I have known people would do Patreon? Is he going to play all of them? Better turn the alerts off. I gotta turn that off because that's putting me right off now. I've stopped commentating the thing. Okay, here we go. Let's come back to this. Okay, Grubby starting off, getting the Gloves of Haste. He hasn't sold the TP yet. Cash is coming in, going to pick off a burrow. The aggressive Blade Master play is doing the trick. Pushing the peons back. Blade Master doing a nice bit of trickery. Grubby has still not sold the TP, but as we've seen Cash do in the past, he's gone and sold his to pick up a circlet and a dust. He's going in for more peon distraction. He wants that burrow, and it is now his thanks to Windwalk, but there was a lovely block there from Grubby and his peons, just body blocking. There's another burrow over here, traps in Cash's hero, so Windwalk won't get him out of this situation. The only way he can get out of this is if he can reach that burrow, and I don't think he can actually... Oh, no, he can just about reach it now. But if he can rebuild the burrow immediately... Oh, unfortunately, the peon spawned here. If it spawned here, he'd be able to rebuild it immediately. Cash... the war mill's down! He's going to have to rebuild the war mill. Oh, he can't because the grunt moved in just enough to stop the war mill being replaced down again. Cash very smartly with his grunt position, saving in his Blade Master because that Blade Master was almost good to go. Grubby does manage to get some revenge though for this economy damage, and is going to pick off a grunt if Cash is going to try to deny, and Cash does get the deny. Ah, that's unfortunate for Grubby. Throwing down his third burrow of the day. More grunts coming out for Cash. 26 food versus Grubby's 20 food. So the economy damage, once again, is quite significant versus Grubby. He's only at 94 food. And the two burrows won't be disturbed this time. The tech is 80% through for both players, roughly. And then you're going to see Shadow Hunter. Cash doesn't have that much gold, though. So he might have enough by the time that tech is finished, actually. So he should be able to get his Shadow Hunter straight away after that, but not too many tier 2 buildings. Grubby's doing better on gold, though. So he's got that going for him. Cash uses the dust, but still gets the item anyway because Grubby's too far away. There's no Windwalk in play here. There is a dust, though, for Grubby. Doesn't choose to chase the Blade Master down, though, mostly because the shop would be nearby and a speed scroll can just be picked up to escape with anyway. So I agree with that choice. Just do some damage. Try to pick off the troll if you can get it. Blade Master healing up for Cash. Grubby does pick it off, puts more damage, interrupts the healing salve, and tries to run away. He's only got one healing salve, so he doesn't want to lose that heal that he's going to get now. The grunt blocking a little bit versus Cash's. Blade Master chooses not to Windwalk through and interrupt the healing salve. Not worth the effort. Shadow Hunter being picked up. Bestiary and Torrent Totem. Okay, Grubby's Shadow Hunter should be a bit earlier. It is. Only by the smallest amount, though. Bestiary, and there will be a Torrent Totem coming up shortly. Or a double Bestiary. See what this guy does. Change my cheer emote to Gowl. I'm not messing with it now after... Oh, no! What was that? I think he built a barracks there. Gone with the torrent. Was that a Voodoo Lounge? It could have been a Voodoo Lounge. I didn't get to see it, but I know that Grubby hasn't got out of the habit of using or building a Voodoo Lounge, because there was a patch recently for Orcs where the Spirit Walkers are no longer purchased. I should probably talk about this first, though. Grubby's Blade Master probably going to be picked off again for once again being too aggressive versus an enemy Blade. Oh no, the Grunts are still going to finish this off. Grubby once again losing that Blade Master. I think if he takes anything out from this series, it's going to be his level of aggression with that Blade Master. He just pushes his luck too far. He's not even that close to his opponent's territory, but apparently close enough that Cash can pretty much guarantee get that kill almost every time when his Shadow Hunter comes out. So... yeah, Grubby's had the habit, and many Orc players probably still do, of building a Voodoo Lounge? No, Shadow Lounge, I think. I forget the names because I don't particularly play Orc that much. But the one that basically builds Shaman and Witch Doctors. Because you used to be able to get Spirit Walkers from them, and then they got moved into the Tauren Totem as Blizzard tried to encourage people to play Taurens more. It has actually happened. I've seen people play Taurens, but not often enough, so it's kind of a nerf to Orc that they have to build this Tauren Totem. Because now they need an extra building in order to get the Witch Doctors and the Shaman. So I think that's what happened there. He accidentally... oh no, we've got a potential creep rat. He's still got lots of time on Windwalk, going to pick this off, gets the experience up to level 2, and then the Voodoo Lounge... sorry, the Ogre Magi is looking tempting. The Hex denies. He does manage to get the... no! What?! Cash gets the item. 200 gold if he sells it. Grubby is not going to be happy about that. That was experience and item. Experience from the previous creep and item from the Ogre Magi. Meanwhile, Cash is doing some solid creeping himself. Potion of Invulnerability. He's got a decent enough army. He's probably drawing Grubby a little bit closer to his actual army, which is his intention, I think. And now his Raider's going to try to force Grubby into a fight he doesn't want to have. And he doesn't, because Grubby's got less food and he's not looking as strong. And the Invulnerability Potion could be passed over to Cash's Blade Master. He actually passes over the Wand first, which is going to give him more domination, because he can use that to steal mana from his opponent and then force more hexes. And he can also pass back the Invulnerability to the Blade Master, allowing the Blade Master to stay in the fight. I think Grubby's done well to get out of that, to be quite frank with you. I think he's done well, because he could literally lose the game at that point. If he gets 1 or 2 more units ensnared, he is forced to fight a fight that totally doesn't favour him. So that was about as good as it could have gone under a terrible situation for Grubby. He picks off the Knoll Assassin that gets a bit too close. Okay, Cash still injured with the Blade Master, but with that invulnerability option, he likes his Scroller Healings. Most players do, but he picks them up quite early on. We're at 46 food though, so it's acceptable, because you don't want to go past 50 food ideally for the longest time. Scroller Healing, no, not in time to save the Raider. And Grubby is now getting pressure on to Cash's Raider. We've got this Spirit Walker just trying to keep his distance to the back. The Grunt Micro towards the back as well. Spirit Link doing its work. Bouncing back and forth. Cash has got this lockdown now on the Raider, picking that off. Grubby manages to pick off his own Raider in return, but there is another Raider going down very quickly there as well. Cash bringing that down. Grunt looking bad. Spirit Walker looking bad. He's going to have to come out. Is there danger on the Shadow Hunter? Chomp for the Kodo, but the Shadow Hunter is looking terrible right now. He manages to get the invulnerability passed over from his Blade Master onto the Shadow Hunter, and there is danger onto the Raider, but he's going to be able to run away from that. Grubby is just in a really bad spot right now. Cash definitely has the advantage, and he is keeping it by keeping Grubby in combat that he doesn't want to be in. And that Kodo really wishes he could escape from this. The Ensnare does... I thought the Ensnare might go on the Blade Master to slow him down, but Grubby actually does an incredibly good job there of dancing back and forth. Blade Master chasing after Kodo, probably will get it. Yep, I don't think he can get away from that. Grubby now feeling the pressure on his own Shadow Hunter. There's no mana, there's no healing. Blade Master on Blade Master going on to the both Shadow Hunters, but Grubby's going to fall first without a doubt. Oh! Staying alive for just that little bit longer. But this is still terrible for Grubby. Versus 2 heroes, free and free on his level 2 Blade Master. He's having a really rough time of it. I do not envy this whatsoever. He just has this issue with the Blade Master costing him so much control and so much pace. And Raider's going to be picked off now. Raiders are so good when you're winning. So good when you're winning. They're just good flat out. But when you're winning, it's like they just guarantee more kills. And they force your opponent into positions they don't want to be in, like being stuck in the trees. And that is it. Grubby's Blade Master is down for the count. GG is called. And Cash wins. 4 wins to 2 losses. I think that was the case. That's a rough map. That got played at the end, if you notice. The players picked their maps, and that was the last map to be picked. I think it was because it was probably the last one left to pick. So, I know Grubby doesn't play that map very much. I don't know if Cash does. So, yeah, there's a lack of experience on that map as well. I think that hurt Grubby. He did a fantastic job to take a couple of wins, though, from Cash. They're both fantastic players. Professional quality, no doubt about it. But Cash is currently playing tournaments. I'm pretty sure of that. So he's far more familiar with the tournament scene. So Grubby did really good to pull off a couple of wins there, I think. If he could just rein in that Blade Master a little bit more, he actually... Because I think versus like top level players, you can see what happens. He can Grubby can get away with that Blade Master versus majority of players, but versus the absolute best, they're not going to have it. And Cash didn't stand for it. And that's what I think, without doubt, was the biggest downfall for Grubby these games, was that Blade Master being picked off. If you could just rein him in just a little bit more, boom. He really is in with a shot, because that's what's costing him. That's what's costing him. He's doing great in the fights, but it's losing that Blade Master, having to take the time to get him back, losing the creep camp because the Blade Master doesn't exist anymore. It just hurts you on so many levels. So, fantastic games. Big thanks to Grubby and Cash for the opportunity to shoutcast this as well. I will try to catch Cash's stream as well, so I can link both of those streams and the FODs in the video description below. That was a map on the WGL map pool. Cash played it versus Moon. Ah, okay. Right. Yeah. I like I say, Cash plays more of these kind of maps that might not necessarily... Grubby, the rest of us probably turn these ones off. So, Cash is going to be a bit more familiar. But it's not to take anything away from him, because he played ridiculously good. Ridiculously good. There's a reason why that guy has like 50 wins, 2 losses on his Night Elf account. I don't know what he has on his Orc account, but it's probably going to be quite scary as well. Cash didn't stream. That's what I wondered. I thought he was supposed to be streaming, but when I checked the Warcraft 3 streams, I didn't see Cash up there, or someone that could have been Cash. So I don't think I can link you Cash's point of view, but I can definitely link you Grubby's point of view. So thanks again for watching. That'll be it for today, I think. And yeah, have a good one. I'll see you when I next see you. Let me know if you enjoyed